Hey guys, how's it going? It's Speedy1569 and you're probably thinking immediately that this is not War Thunder. And I'm gonna quickly turn the sound down like I always do when I play this game. But yeah, so some of you guys who haven't been here from the start are thinking, what the hell is this? This is Rome Total War. This is what I made my channel off. This is probably my most favorite game I've ever played in my life. It is a classic and I love it to bits. Now, I'm probably going to play War Thunder when 1.49 comes out, but as of the moment, I'm a bit sick of it. Just don't find it as enjoyable as I used to. Anyway, so me and my good friend RopeyJnr over here. RopeyJnr is a real life friend. He's probably my best friend. I've known him for nearly 6 years now. We've been friends since we were 13 years old, pretty much, so he's, yeah, a really good friend. So yeah, we decided to play a Rome Total War battle tonight. So, yeah, so without delaying and shit, I'm gonna show you this battle, because this is all me and Ropey used to play, was just 2v2, 3v3s online. And some of you older subs, and people from Hephaestion, and even people from Hef know that. So I just triple speeded a little bit there. Yeah, so it might be a little bit FPS laggy, especially when we get further into the battle. It's just, I don't know why, it's just the fact that Rome 1 doesn't really agree with Windows 8. I'm guessing it's a bit laggy sometimes, but it's still fun. My micro's a little bit off. Yeah, so immediately going into this battle, Ropey immediately makes a mistake by accidentally hitting enter. So, because we just came from a Age of Empires game, so we forgot to do that. So immediately we just, yeah, so I'm just gonna like triple speed this while we get in formation. So you can see it's really bad FPS while we do that. So yeah, this game, we went into it feeling nervous because it'd been about maybe about 1.5 years since we've played a proper online battle for Rome Total War. So yeah, we're feeling a bit nervous, and especially because I hosted the lobby, and immediately Angus, who's RopeyJnr, I don't know if I should have said that, he went with, oh, if you guys watch my first videos, you would know his name anyway. My name is Kyle, so yeah, you guys can call me that, or Speedy, doesn't matter. Anyway, so Ropey went with Macedon, which immediately everybody thinks Macedon, so there's probably 2 hard counters to Macedon in this game, which is Carthage and Rome. Rome is pretty much a counter to most infantry-based factions, however most have factions in a way too. Anyway, so me and Ropey decide to go with our traditional build. So one of us will usually go with Carthage or Macedon, and the other will go Seleucids or Greek, depending on who we face. So this game, Ropey goes with Macedon and I go with the Seleucids. And the Seleucids are probably my most favourite faction in the game, just because of the cataphracts. Now cataphracts are available to other factions as well, but Seleucids have it better because they have scythe chariots, and they have, generally speaking, they have better infantry than the other eastern factions. And so yeah, immediately from the start, you can see that the Romans are outnumbering us greatly. They've even spent a lot of money on these Archer Auxilia, which in the long run is a pretty bad choice. So yeah, so he's immediately starting to target my guys, and I see this, so immediately try to set up a trap here. You'll see me constantly pulling back my archers as to draw back his archers further, to try to get them in counter range with Ropey's archers to fire from a flank, but unfortunately he sees that and pulls back. So the first bit of this game is a lot of cat and mouse, so I'm going to fast forward it for a little bit until something happens. So it's just a massive Mexican standoff right now. And yeah, until something massive happens. So as you can see, the Roman force is very intimidating from this side, and what we worst. It's what we feared the most. Urban Cohort and Praetorian Cav. It's probably the most dangerous combo in this game. So my archers are getting wrecked right now, but that's what you expect. My archers are only cheap archers. They're like $100 each. These archer auxiliary are like 400, 500 or something. Anyway, so this is what starts to happen. Blue decides to rush Ropey in a way, just kind of to block him off. And this is another bit of my micro mistake. I'm used to newer Total Wars, not that I play them a lot, but I'm used to them responding a lot quicker. The animations in this game take a while to respond, especially sometimes. So say like that's why you can see like 4 bowmen running behind, because they were still firing their arrows, so they're stuck behind. Fortunately they come back from routing, but the archer fight wasn't the important bit of this fight. But yeah, so Ropey and I are desperately trying to stay alive, which we're hopelessly outclassed in this regard. You know, it's like 12 archer auxilia versus like 12 regular archers. Like, we don't really have the advantage here in missile damage or anything. But we were getting pretty worried here because I was starting to call shots. I was like, okay, so blue Romans are clearly rushing you. Pull up, I'll try to distract the red Roman, the Julii, and you get flanking shots. But the blue Roman smartly decides to pull back because his infantry would have got slaughtered there. He had no cav support, no support from his teammate at all. So he would have just gotten demolished in that fight. And when he's pulling back like this, this is the best chance you get to kill Urban. So as you see, you can see all these piles of Urban cohorts right here. Now every Urban you kill in this game is essential because Urbans are the most dangerous infantry in the game. The most versatile and the most dangerous. Excluding Spartans, but yeah, Spartans are just Spartans. And Spartans can be outflanked, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, what the turning point in this game is happening right now. Perfect timing. So blue Roman, I'm just going to quickly pause it for a sec. A lot of you people may not be new to Total War, so as you see here, my Seleucids have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mini flags above some of their men. These flags determine how many upgrades you have, so all my cataphracts have 6 upgrades. There's 6 flags, which are gold. Now, the Romans went for a more quantity over quality build, which is not something you usually go for in the first Rome. But we'll see how that plays out. So as you can see, the blue Roman has pretty much no upgrades on any of his troops, just some on his archer auxilia. The red Roman has a few upgrades on his Praetorian Cav, but for Praetorian Cav to really stand any chance against cataphracts, they really have to be equivalent or greater upgrades, and even then, they're still going to have a tough fight. But you guys will just see what happens here. So Angus and RopeyJnr desperately tries to bring his cav over, because you can understand these guys' logic. They want to demolish my flank, because cataphracts are the most dangerous force on this battlefield, in my opinion, by far. So you can tell why they want to get rid of them. But blue makes a huge mistake here. He groups all of his up, and as you can see, I swing this cataphract back. Now these unupgraded Praetorians are now in a massive surrounded brawl with my upgraded cataphracts. Now this cataphract here is getting wrecked a little bit, but as you can see, those cataphracts just absolutely crumble. I mean those Praetorians, you can see all the dead bodies. And then I also brought a silver shield pikeman over just to guarantee it. But it's already over. Like as you can see, the Roman cav is just crumbling. You need upgrades. And at this point, Ropey and I gained a lot of confidence. We felt a lot more secure with me single-handedly taking out pretty much most of their force, and some of their Praetorians just regrouped straight away, and I just charged into them. I was gaining a lot of confidence at this stage because we'd gained the cavalry superiority quite easily and quickly. However, this is the big problem. You can see all these archers here that are firing on my cataphracts, so I really wanted to go after and clean up the rest of his cav, but his infantry is right there, which can support. And cataphracts are good, but you don't really want to get them into a too long of a grind out melee fight, which they probably might win against unupgraded urbans, but it would be very costly. But yeah, you see, seeing this, I rush my remaining archers up to target this massive blob of archers here. So yeah, me and Rupee, right now, we're just looking for exploits, because like I said, we've taken out the majority of the Roman cav. We have the advantage of the battlefield with the cavalry, and Ropey hasn't even committed any of his companions into a melee fight, really. Some of them have been hit by missile fire, but they're still fresh. They've barely been touched. They're all on like 50 plus men, except for his general's taken like 6. But yeah, so this is the another turning point in the battle. Blue for some reason leaves his general just sitting here, and it's quite funny later on. You'll see his general running around as the last man alive in his unit for some reason. I don't know why. Somehow this game works like that. It's pretty funny sometimes. But yeah, his general ends up being the last man alive, so there goes 1, so there's 2 men left in it. And it gets quite funny later in the battle. It's just his general is the lone cav unit. So yeah, so Blue detaches a majority of his infantry, which helps greatly because it means that Ropey now has pretty much free leverage over this side of the battlefield. With no cav to support the Blue Roman, he's pretty much vulnerable to Macedon. It's the same with this. I thought Blue was actually going to try to rush my cataphracts, which is why you saw me spread them out a bit, because I was going to attack them on all angles, which would rout them pretty much instantly. A rare charge into an unupgraded urban would pretty much just wreck them. But you can see he's trying to use his infantry as a cavalry unit right now and try to clean up some of my archers, but yeah, right now my archers don't even matter. They're just a nuisance. But as you can see, I've cleaned up quite a few of these blue archers. They're down to a lot of men now. Except for this one. This one's down to 58, but these ones are depleted a lot. They're down to like 13, 32. But yeah. So I was getting really impatient here. I thought Blue committed there for a second, so I charged, and then he reformed, so I immediately pulled back, because if I charged there, I would have been at the mercy of Red Romans just coming up. And I committed my cataphracts, and the last second I pulled back, so that was lucky. My cataphracts probably would have won that, but yeah. In this game, it's a lot different missiles, and I mean, not missiles, cav charges work a lot different in this game. Even though they're cataphracts, your units tend to not do a lot of damage on the charge from the front unless they're very low defense, and urbans have a huge defense, so even though cataphracts have the best charge in the game, equal with companion cavalry, you're still not gonna effectively deal with urbans quickly, just because of their massive defense. But some of my archers are just hanging around now. It really doesn't matter at this point. The archer fight is really irrelevant right now. It's, like I said, we're just waiting for each other to make a move. So I send my cataphracts just to walk around, and Ropey and I are speaking to each other at this point on Steam, and we're like, alright, so Blue is, as you can tell, they're very worried about my cataphracts, and they should be. I single-handedly took out like nearly 12 Praetorian cav with 5 cataphracts. So yeah, Blue is getting really impatient and very defensive with my cataphracts. However, that leaves his right flank, or his left flank for them, completely vulnerable for Ropey. Oh, and at this point, I was like, hey, Ropey, you should attack Blue. I will move up my Seleucid infantry, which are worse quality than these royals. and engage in a head-on. I'll engage in a head-on, I'll just hold off the urbans. Meanwhile, you clean up this flank where there's no cavalry at all. So the closest support he had would be here. And I was getting impatient too. I decided just to YOLO my cataphracts in, and you see me, these cataphracts just wreck on the charge on these Praetorians. I took out probably like 10 men on the charge. And these urbans coming in, and without a charge, it would be too much of a grind fest against urbans. So I just get out of there. There's no point sticking to that. So my men, I just start to tell my men to run out, save the grind fest. And a little bit of micro mistake here. They're not running, so I quickly tell them to run. Yeah. And my general over here is trying to take out some of these auxilia. And this is a huge turning point in the battle. So at this point, I really didn't care about the peeler, because when it comes to this point in the battle, all these silver shields have to do is hold. That's all they have to do. That's the point of this strategy, is that your cataphracts wreck the cav fight, and your silver shields just hold long enough for your cataphracts to hammer an anvil and rout them. So yeah, but at this point it's GG, because here comes Ropey with all his companions, and it's just instant rout everywhere. He has no chance at all. It's just routs. Unfortunately, Ropey's general dies there. You know, sometimes that happens, but yeah. And at this point, my cataphracts are eager for more blood. They didn't get the hammer and anvil they wanted to, but now they do. My general engages these urbans from the front, and these urbans are facing their backs to a direct cavalry charge from all these cataphracts. And it's just a slaughter. Just a massive slaughter. And the only unit left is just this Testudo urban. And at this point, he admits defeat. So this was a great first game back. As I said, Ropey is a great friend of mine. And we enjoyed this battle a lot. This game is what we used to play for literally days at a time. Not trying to sound cocky or anything, but our opponents were obviously a lot less skilled, so it was a good battle to come back to. And yeah, like me and Ropey, we used to be pretty much were undefeated for a long time in 2v2s. It was a really good time for the both of us. But anyway, so nearly 1,300 kills for me, nearly 1,000 for Ropey. Estrax did pretty well. We got 820 kills. Wolves didn't do too well. We got 300 kills, so that's alright. But yeah, as you can see, these cataphracts are just insane. Like, cataphracts, casualties inflicted 276. Like, all these cataphracts pretty much got over 100 kills each, which is just, yeah. So I'm sorry about that, guys. For some reason, every time I go back to the main menu with fraps, Rome crashes. I don't know, it's like I said, it's just Rome 1 and Windows 8 disagreeing. Anyway, so that was a great battle to come to. Yeah, I would love to bring more of these in the future. As I said, it's such great fun, this game, and I really do love it. So anyway, leave me a like, a comment, whatever you want. Tell me how you guys enjoyed this video, because I know I absolutely love describing these battles. The strategy behind them that's what kills it, because me and Ropey, we always complement each other's playstyle so well, which is why we pick factions that protect each other's weaknesses. So Ropey will pick Macedon, he lacks in cav a little bit. I'll pick Seleucids, I lack in infantry. He supports my infantry with his stronger infantry. I support his weaker cav with my cav. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it off here. So I hope you enjoyed. I know I enjoyed this a lot. So enjoy and have a nice day, night, evening, and I will see you guys later. Take care, guys.